Yep.
That's all right. Background noise.
We didn't know we were getting one of the guards to go with, or yeah, we did.
Yeah, we. I think. Yeah.
Yep.
In real life, no.
Right. This being Victor's first foray into the Feywild, he doesn't really know what's available to him.
That's the other thing, is I'm not really too sure what's available. But we do have a random guard, don't we? Gonna ask. Mm-hmm. So while we're here, what's there to do around here? I forgot about that. I also let someone out of a card, or at least thought about them. Mm-hmm. Because we're gonna have a nice night in the Feywild. Might as well. It's a pretty night. That's what I was thinking. No, probably gonna be later. Yeah, not right this second. More so later, as in when we get back with things to show. Like if I have some good wine or something. Yeah.
Right.
To get the thing done. I didn't know I was gonna need to. Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna need to have some there. Thought we are gonna need it going forward. Yeah. I was kind of told to ask a favor, though, if I remember right. So, from what I understand, looking back, are the implications for me to get that immediately and like carry on with the the legal precedents, or am I supposed to just basically go on normal? Because I mean, I asked a lot of questions, so I think I would rather not owe a favor as my first thing doing. I'm technically doing a favor right now for someone, but I'm getting power in return, so. Yeah. I mean, technically I'm doing a favor for someone, but I have no intent of holding that over his head. Worst, I would basically be like, hey, I did something for you to get you back here. We're on good terms. Anything you can do about this situation at some point? Yeah. We're asking the guard, but yeah, that's the other thing is we're a little bit nervous about wandering around and
Yeah.
getting tricked into things. We're pretty, up. We watch things pretty closely, but still.
Right. Victor remembers that kid almost getting him earlier.
Yeah.
Do we need a different form of money here? Because I don't think cash just functions here the same. Yeah. That's the thing, as I'm looking for like wine, I don't want to do a deal for wine. True. Oh no, I planned on purchasing some. It'd be nice to come back home with some, or otherwise partake in a nice party with some.
Wine does sound good.
Feywild wine, come back home with some nice alcohol. If it's only going to be deals, then not interested because there is no deal that I would like to cut for wine. There's trade. I would trade some things, but not worth it. I mean, that's fine because what I'm looking to do is get a wine that I cannot normally get in the material plane. That's fair. Yes. That was not
that tracks for Zany though.
Yeah, he is pretty fun to be around. That's fair. Well, that explains some things. We know him, and a couple of weeks ago we might have been hanging out with him blackout drunk.
Speak for yourself. I've not been crazy enough
no.
to drink with him.
Maybe we shouldn't leave the room. That tone. Why not? He's the life of the party. Yeah. Me being in trouble, it's never happened before. Technically deception, but he's not really trying to hide it. I mean, it's partially sarcasm too, but... More trouble than you probably signed up for. Maybe
We're great when it comes to making people do paperwork.
maybe I won't leave, because the only thing that I really want here is gluttony, essentially. I just want to see things, experience things, walk around, enjoy the sights, be a tourist. Yeah. Just gonna assume it's best to just not bother leaving.
Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to go around and be a tourist here, but I have a feeling that's just not a good idea. That's not good. and have some more things to do. Later on, I suppose. Yes. I I feel that I am just slowly getting into one situation after the other.
Yeah, we all are.
Like a rolling disaster.
Victor just kind of nods in Azaroth's direction.
No. It's more to entertain, to return back to material plane with something unique that I don't have a chance of getting very frequently. Fruits or otherwise are probably another good idea. Just say if I were to want to entertain a guest back in the material plane, what would be a fancy thing to bring them that they can't normally get there? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. It seems like coming back later might be my better bet rather than causing possible issues by wandering outside of the house at the moment. I might as well consider myself on house arrest for now. About what? Understood. I mean, honestly, we are trying to just take care of the situation. Like, we need to figure out what to do with his brother. So, and seeing as he's trying to lead a coup, hey, if he goes missing, I doubt it'll be a huge problem, right? Yeah.
So, what do you know about the Moth Court as it is currently?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I'm sure it is. We'll try to not involve you any further with it, though. Mm-hmm. If everything goes well, my lord should be back soon. So. It's my understanding. He hasn't given me that information. General traveling stuff, meat, and otherwise might be the best bet.
We have learned that. Never mind, that's Florence. Sorry.
I don't believe so.
Any kind of sweets or anything that we may be able to use as a bargaining chip if there's known dissent in the Moth Court to help us?
I don't know. I'm pretty easily bought by Candy already.
Well, I mean, just anything that may help convince people that are already against the current leader of the Moth Court. It's like, okay, these people mean to help to get rid of the usurper king.
Yeah, I don't
Thank
know
you.
if there is anything that we could politically use.
Right?
think we told everything to you anyways. We don't really have very many other conversations. I would like to get a message back, but I have a feeling that anything sent out might be potentially tracked. So I think it might be best to leave communications out. I'd be trying to communicate to someone on the material plane, just letting them know that I'm safe. Probably expensive, so I'm not too worried about it. I would be trying to contact my king or my lord, whatever you want to call him. There's also sending him a message while others might be paying attention for that type of thing. We might reveal his location or otherwise, so might be best just leave him alone. It's kind of interesting. That's a good question, actually. I think I'll indulge quite a bit, honestly.
Restraint is not one of the Belmont things.
Well, for the rest of my family it might be, but not for me. Usually it's a restraining order against me.
It's either a restraining order or a pact.
Yeah.
I mean, my family's always been a little bit more careful than I have, but apparently my legacy is the one usually told.
Well,
I don't usually hear of him while I'm out, though. I usually hear, "Hey, you, get back here! I know your face and know who you are." And I go,
Look.
"Oh God, it's gotta be me."
look, a mortal family to have a spot on a Fey Lord's court, something had to go down kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That I don't know whether or not that might be more paperwork for you or not. What?
Your mic?
Hasn't been recording your microphone this whole time?
Nope.
Oof.
You checked all the audio, so I figured you were done with that.
Damn it.
Well, do you want to do a quick summary of what people may have missed? Because honestly, it was just conversation back and forth between the guard about like getting some general favors and kind of checking the land for if there was any type of things that we could get. And honestly, there wasn't a lot of information shared there in the first bit.
Yeah, it's just also the direction of potentially looking to see who can be bought and with what.
Yep. There really wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of talking, but there wasn't a lot of information shared there.
Yeah.
A lot of important stuff.
Oh no, it wasn't coming out a little low. It wasn't reading me. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't check the audio for the stream, considering I watched the stream, and it would be really weird echo.
Yeah.
No, the main problem
even at
is
2%, I still hear you in the background constantly.
main problem is I ended up looking up at the top and I realized my microphone bar wasn't going at all.
Oh,
So
boy.
it had turned off the microphone I was using. Because it said default, which means it should have technically went to this. I'm wondering if it's something to do with Discord and this. Probably something of it trying to take priority and not wanting to share. But I got it working now. It's bouncing. Bouncy volume bar.
Yeah.
You can hear you on the stream.
If there's anything that we can do to help people in that court that already doesn't like the current king and may have sympathy for Florence, the better.
Yeah.
But we don't know who our allies are yet. I'd rather wait
No.
for Florence to be here.
Exactly.
Or if some guard gets you some information.
At the same time, I don't know how the situation's going to go down. If it's literally going to be a, hey, we need to go and, like, you know, kill his brother to get him out of there so we can bring Florence back. So,
I mean, there's always that option. I mean, regicide is always an option.
Yeah, but it's more so what is going to happen at this point. Like, sure, we can be like, here's all the information. We're having a huge incursion in our area. But who's actually going to do anything about it? They're going to legally say, stop, don't do that. But then who's actually going to come in and enforce things?
Well, if the Raven Queen has to, then there's major penalties that are given.
Yeah.
Curses, loss of titles, etc., etc. So it's one of those things, if you guys handle it internally, so much better, because it becomes one of those, and the paperwork's dealt with. You guys dealt with the problem. Good. Do we get a reward?
So, I mean,
no, you just don't get punished. That's your reward.
Yeah, because this is basically one of those, like, in a failure to keep your court in line, you get punishment regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Florence is kind of prepared for that, but...
Yeah.
Because I don't think we would be able to fare very well against his brother on our own.
No. We are not strong enough to handle...
I mean,
we could try.
You say that, but you guys literally have created lunar bombs to destroy people.
They might not work as well against him, so... Considering it's a moon domain.
I mean... Yeah, but you never know.
Victor makes just like a little solar flicker in his hand.
Because remember, even if they're resistant taking half damage, X, half damage of 20 damage is still a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Half damage of a nuke is still painful.
Yep.
It's like fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're half damage, they still hurt.
Or lightning bolt. That one still hurts like crazy in other games. Ah, okay. So anything else you guys want to do or talk about during the evening? Besides,
I'm definitely gonna be letting Katerina out to just hang out.
Okay.
Not intending to like have her outside of the room or anything like that. And I just kind of want to give her an option to come and hang out if she wants to, just to have a nice night looking out over the scenery and like hanging out, doing something like eating crackers, wine, and cheese, like, you know, being bougie.
Oh, that does sound kind of nice.
So in other words, hey patron, will you come out and enjoy a lovely evening that I've been able to procure by getting in trouble? This is why I like you. You're my favorite. Is that what you're looking for?
I'm just trying to give her a nice time, honestly.
Yeah, that seems to be Azeroth's usual thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking to give them a nice time. Pulls glasses down.
That tracks.
Didn't mean like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Well, you guys have a nice evening with Katerina and everything. Cheese and wine and weird fruits. Seems a lot of
Yeah.
the staff coming in and out to make sure you guys are all good are just, they seem either like lower Fey, or some of them seem like they may or may not be like they were at one time humans or similar things, and just mortals that were taken in by the court. Nothing really eventful happens unless you guys want to have conversations or anything.
No, nothing on the noggin at the moment.
But yeah, like I'm gonna hang out with them for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go like wash up and then read one of the books I've brought with me because I'm that big of a dork. It's on my family history, and I'm kind of looking to see where there's other people of my family that may still be alive.
I mean, if there are books that we can access, like if there's a library we can go to, that'd be awesome. But I don't want to push possible interactions with other people, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
I'd
is,
rather hang out on my own.
I brought a book with me.
Yeah.
but there is a library in the palace.
It's just about going and possibly interacting with other people that I'd rather not.
Are you sure?
It might be a good idea to go, honestly. This has one of those DM feelings of you certainly can try.
So you want to go to the courts?
Yeah,
The
I think while we're here, probably before I have Katerina out, because I'm just gonna have Katerina out, just kind of lounge around for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
That's assuming that she wants to even be out, and it might be a good idea to settle in to look at some books.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I mean, you don't have to tell the archivist twice.
So you guys are gonna go to the library, okay?
Yep.
Are you guys gonna look for somebody who might be in charge of it? Or are you guys just gonna look around? What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think I will look for anyone who might be in charge, like a librarian or otherwise. But I mean, otherwise, I assume we're okay with being here.
Can I have what is it, observation or perception? I can't remember what I
Yeah.
labeled it as.
Yeah.
Perception. Yeah. Can I get a perception check from people?
7 and an 8, so that'll be 15 without any additions because I don't have my character sheet up. Look at that mess.
16.
Just a second. Ugh, a 9.
And actually, you're getting advantage, Draven. You're used to being in libraries and knowing how things work.
16.
Let's see. That would be observation. Yep, perception. So that's gonna be a modified 20 for me.
The other two of you don't notice it, but after a few moments, you do realize, Axe, that there is a small caterpillar seeming to follow you around and watch you. Or at least it looks semi like a caterpillar. It's more of a strange silk-covered worm with kind of fur.
It just like as we're reading in the library, it just happens to be there, or
yeah, it seems to be watching you guys and observing as you guys are walking around and looking for books and that.
I'm interested. Let's see.
Seems to have
my
like
brain.
short hair that seems to be slightly combed, multiple little legs like a caterpillar would, but it looks more like some sort of worm of sorts. It's got mandibles and
It's
humanoid teeth, oddly enough,
oh god.
and human eyes as it stares at you.
And this is literally just like a obviously without other features. This is just a standard caterpillar.
It's sort of. It's about 3 to 4 inches long.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a little bit on the long side.
Yeah, he's a girthy boy.
Thick. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick up a book. Gonna write a little something down real fast. Kind of oh hey, look at this. And then I'm gonna slip the paper up, and it's just gonna indicate on the piece of paper we're being watched. And it's on the inside of a book.
So you're writing on something inside the book, but not on the book.
Nope, not writing on the book. Writing on a piece of paper that's mine, and slipping a piece of paper inside of the book while I'm kind of like moving around, just trying to subtly pass a message over.
Are you trying to make it to where he doesn't see this paper trick?
Yep.
Okay, I need a sleight of hand.
Well, that's 17 on the die. Sleight of hand is 5, so 22.
As you seem to begin writing in the book, at least to most other people in the room, you'll hear the caterpillar's voice come out. Hey, what are you doing to my books?
Said not writing in the book, writing on a table
But-
is what I was thinking on doing, but
Oh, because I thought you were hiding the message that you were writing as
I am
well.
hiding the message, but I am hiding the message of what was written on that paper from the caterpillar.
Yeah, so as far as he knows, you're writing in the book. Because you're hiding it in the book, aren't you?
I would be writing like I'm taking a note on the book on a table.
Okay.
And then slipping the paper into my hand, and as I show what's on the book, which is nothing, I'm slipping the paper up to show what's on the paper. Although it does kind of reveal that the caterpillars are very likely not a threat, I'm not going to metagame on that.
Because it seems...
I
So,
have
I
no
also have
intent to
'cause-
ever make any indication like I am writing in these books. I know
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
If I have any inkling that I am writing in these books, I guarantee you someone's going to have something to say somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, so the caterpillar just continues watching. He did not see the message.
I specifically am going to give that to either or for the two people I'm hanging with. And I am going to be looking for specific books still.
Right. So Victor's gonna kind of look at the message and just nod.
I would like... What would I like to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for more information on my court. Which is no information that at all should be super duper secret, considering I don't really care if the enemy knows that I'm looking up information on the court.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those, like, okay, and it just gives me more information of what I'm doing. And I feel like this library would have something like that. You know, stories of kings and successions, basically.
If you're looking for that, you can do a knowledge heraldry with advantage, because you have the access of a library to do such.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have a knowledge, just basic intelligence.
Yeah, it's just basic intelligence for you. Hey, at least it's not an athletics.
I am on fucking fire with my rolls today. That's a 16 die. So that's a modified... That's a 19. I was going to say modified 20, but it's a 3 instead of a 4. And let me do an advantage. Nope, I got a lower roll.
Okay. So a 19, yeah. A lot of it seems to go back only a couple of generations for this version of the court. There are multiple moth courts kind of listed, but this specific one is a moon court that seems to be more over... Oddly enough, instead of like trickery or anything like that, they're more over the natural order of things. So most of what you can tell includes modified 19. There are hints to otherworldly beings being in his court and being in the court for the last generation or 3 for certain ones.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in, like, who would currently be in the court, what would be dealings and otherwise with the court, all the... anything regarding stories to, like, what's going on, to,
Okay. So you're looking for more modern.
Yeah, I'm looking for specifically more modern, because the huge, like, overarching history, there might be like, oh, hey, history repeats itself, look what's happening again. But all the same, like, I'm looking for things like the deal with the Belmonts, the
Deal with the
information.
Belmonts are older than the current politics.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deal that's been around for a while. If I remember right, that's at least 100 to 300 years. So.
Mm-hmm. So current politics, a lot of what's been recorded as of late includes some slight dissidents that are on the outskirts of the kingdom, some defecting groups to other kingdoms. There aren't a lot of moths left in the kind of nobility of the kingdom. Most of them seem to be like weird other things. A couple of them seem to be noted as like beetles. One of them is noted as a worm.
Gotcha.
So it seems like he's aligning himself with whatever he can try to align himself with. A few of them seem like they were vying for the power that he's trying to get.
That
because it seems
beetle one, does that happen to be the person I was talking to earlier?
No.
Okay.
No, the
So
two
I remember
beetles,
talking to someone about the court of the beetle.
the two beetles in there one seems to be a older gentleman, and one seems to be kind of a young upstart that's been known for making deals with as many courts as possible.
Yeah.
And
My goal is to make as few deals as possible.
Yeah, basically he's indebting himself to a lot of people quick. He thinks it's going to be his way to go up, but it's obvious by looking at kind of more of his rap sheet. He's just digging himself deeper.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone who's making deals with him is noticing that same issue as well and taking advantage of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm mostly interested in any type of history related stuff. So, like, if I ask a question later on,
Yep.
I can have a potential bonus of, like, you recall this information from the book that you read.
Yeah, some of it will be you will have read it later on. Others will be you have advantage on recalling it. Because, yeah, some of it's more nuanced. So it's trying to make the connections, and not having all of the context makes it harder, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So though you might absorb the information, you don't know the context in which it applies. But that's where you'll have advantage on those rolls to make the context fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that the other two are going to look for?
I was gonna look into previous incursions of the Fae realm into the material plane, kind of focusing on the area of Victor's hometown, and see why, how, and how it was kind of solved.
Okay.
Because apparently there's been other incursions in that area before.
Yeah.
That brought Calder's family and his into connection before, and with this particular court.
So you'll do history with advantage.
Okay.
Which you only have your intellect on, but that's still a hefty bonus for you.
19, I think. Gotta check my mod.
+5.
Yep, 19.
Yeah. Okay. Another 19s. You can tell that it seems to have happened at least twice before. since the kingdom started. But there are a lot of records of similar incursions through those gates going all the way back to ancient kingdoms. So it seems like there's been multiple plays for power through these gates in your homeland.
Yeah.
But
Gonna have to
most
for 2
of
seconds.
the recent ones were from this moon kind of court. Either vying for power or trying to, as one of the previous ones was, because let's see here, this one is brother trying to use the power to enhance the curse to keep his brother from being able to come back. The previous one seems to have been trying to gain the power to fight off an enemy court that was invading and trying to take their land and everything else. So they were trying to technically gain the nexus to protect their people. And the one before that, during your kingdom, seems to have been kind of an attempt to gain power enough to become a court. So it seems whatever they did, though they didn't get the nexus, they got enough power to technically become a court. So they did get some sort of thing accomplished that helped this court become a thing. And that seems to have been about 700 to 800 years ago.
I do apologize, but the sound cut out for me when you mentioned in an attempt to fight off an enemy court.
In an attempt to fight off an enemy court, they ended up getting power from the Nexus. Was the last one. So that was technically the one that your father was involved in and everything. And
Okay.
then the one before that was technically like 700, 800 years ago, and that was specifically a battle to become a court because they were looking for the power to do so. So whatever it is, it seems like it might not have been for the Nexus, or if it was, they had the Nexus long enough to gain that power. But whatever they did, they accomplished becoming a court. And kind of annexing themselves off of a larger court.
Okay. Thank you.
And anything with history, you'll have advantage on recalling or trying to make connections, kind of like Axel will with the heraldry and kind of the nobility in that.
Okay.
Stella, is there anything you wish to do in the library with all the books?
I can't think of anything directly related to our current situation that the other two aren't already digging up. So I'm just going to look into just look out a few books on like Fey wildlife.
Okay. A wildlife. So there's two different skills you can roll. I will allow you to either roll nature or planner. Well, or one of three. Or handle animal if you're looking for, instead of like plants and all that, just animals and how to handle them.
Okay. Let's see. Sure.
Okay. Then give me a roll with advantage. Having a library at your disposal is very useful.
Uh, 17. That's appears to be the total. I think it appears to be the total.
A what total?
17.
Okay. You do find that there seems to be a lot of weird kind of biomes and creatures as well as plants. As you're reading, you do read that there are a ton of creatures here that tend to also slowly become more sentient as they get older.
1 second. I read from the wrong part of the skill list. No, this is +4.
So it should be 18.
Let's see. It should be 21.
Oh. So you were adding nothing. Okay, gotcha. Okay. 21. Yeah. So a lot of the before mentioned stuff, there's a lot of different biomes and different kinds of plants and animals. You do see that there seems to be some kind of similarities to how some of them are, different biomes, as if it's kind of like a creature that adapts depending on its biome. A lot of what you have kind of heard of is stuff like a lot of the stuff that you've kind of noticed is it kind of seems like the vipers that Agatha was talking about, how they adapt to their environment as well. One said creature seems to be these weird worm creatures. They're kind of like caterpillars, and they make cocoons eventually. But after hundreds of years of kind of foraging in their own environment, a lot of the notations on these creatures include in the redcap forest and stuff like the shadow fell of the Feywilds, all the way up to stuff like the lunar areas and whatnot having different ones, and even when they pupate and then when they become, well, their evolved forms, they seem to have different characteristics. And as you seem to finish reading on this, you see, as you put the book down for a second, one such caterpillar standing in front of you on the table. And first, the 3 eyes on its left side blink, and then the 3 eyes on its right side blinks. And it just stares up at you.
Hello.
Hello? Can I help you, outsiders?
The anxiety.
I
Yes.
think I've found everything I was looking for. You have an amazing library here.
You slowly see the middle eye on the right just slowly turn towards you, Victor, as the other 5 are still staring at Stella.
I have an amazing collection.
Yes, the library here is quite well kept. Me and my kin have been taking care of this place for a very long time.
You take good care of it.
We try to. It's funny because people tend to think that us bookworms will eat the books, but the only thing we do is tend to sit here and clean the books. Have you ever seen one of those nobles with their sticky little hands sometimes leaving stuff all over books? I hate it, but it is a good snack.
I work in a
Sticky hands.
library. I know all about grubby hands on my books.
You see the bottom eye now sit here and shift towards you now, Victor. You work in a library, do you? And you're immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, I've been there most of my life.
We got one that smells like the desert here. We've got you from a library. And one of the top eye from the right turns towards Asnoth. And somebody that smells like he can't keep his nose out of trouble.
How could you tell?
The left top eye turns towards you now, as only the 2 bottom left are still looking at Stella. I just have a nose for troublemakers.
I'm not going to cause you any trouble.
Oh no, I know you probably won't cause me no trouble. But it means I'll probably be having to write about you in one of these here books.
Yeah. We tend to dealing with trouble. One way or
Yes.
another.
Seems like he makes a bit too many dealings with trouble.
Yeah, that's about right.
Trouble's my middle name.
Now let me ask you, from the scent that you have, are you one of them there Belmont kids?
That is a mighty interesting nose you have to be able to tell something like that.
Y'all have a distinct scent. And you leave it all over the books.
Victor just kind of sits back and smirks.
I'm sorry, I have a thought that's not stream appropriate. Give me a sec.
Get it out of your system.
You know, Stella, sometimes it's nice to not have a family as well known as his.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
I'd rather not be known for my family either, and therefore a second entire identity and name to not be associated with my family.
Apparently, y'all have a certain smell.
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know you. Yeah, I've noticed. You haven't?
Again, curious, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Not to be rude.
I'm about 1,000 years old, about to sit here and get my cocoon soon.
Oh,
From what I could tell, you probably met multiple of us then.
Yes. Why do you ask?
I got reasons.
Yeah, Victor's gonna go put what he grabbed up and see if he can't find something on solar magic. Just to kind of skim through it.
So you're looking for a book on solar magic in the Feywilds.
They may have something. They have weird stuff all the time.
a lot of what you seem to find seems to point more towards the summer court for solar magic.
We're in the winter court, aren't we?
Technically,
Yeah.
yeah. Technically, you guys got seats in the winter court.
It's technically the bad one, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. It depends on how you look at it, yeah, because technically certain individuals in the Winter Court, even in Myth, were actually not really bad. They were more about making sure deals were upheld, or making sure that natural processes like death were upheld as well. So, like, there's the whole concept, even within the Winter Courts, if I remember correctly, that technically the Dullahans were used to go against these deal breakers or even people who were seeking immortality and unnatural life. So the Dullahans were technically, or Headless Horsemen were technically used to combat those issues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Understood.
But a lot of what you do find is about the Summer Court and how they use solar magic. It does not seem like there are any magical tomes here to teach spells, but there seems to be some references to some books as well as some potential artifacts for solar magic. But is there anything?
All right.
Is there anything else you guys might need help with?
Kind of curious on how my ancestors were for you. You said you met multiple Belmonts. I'm brand new here. This is my first conscience time coming into the Feywild.
Which
I'm
one
pretty
are you
sure I
asking
was here
about?
once before. Any of them. I assume any of the ones that have come here have probably been my direct ancestors, ones that were magic users. Possibly, I can't remember his name. And I can't remember that off the top of my head, but I'm going to reference the one that happens to be with me currently. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head.
You mean the what was it? Maw of the Abyss?
Yeah, but I can't remember his name.
Simon?
Simone, but yeah.
It's Simone, yeah.
Simone. He was the one that came here with his brother. His brother was
Yeah.
very studious. He, on the other hand, was eating snacks and hanging out and cracking a lot of jokes. Very interesting
Sounds about
guy.
right.
He seemed to be the life of the party and kept people's spirits up.
Good man.
Last time I saw either of them, Parth had come back with some creature in tow, and he was trying to look up curses of the Feywild.
Parth?
Yes.
Not familiar with the Parth.
He was referred to commonly as the Nexus.
Interesting.
He seemed to have had control over most of the powers your family bloodline seemed to have connection to.
Oh, okay. So this might be Parth Belmont, technically?
Yeah.
Or... So this is one of my ancestors. So this is 3 people from my past, right?
No, Sir Parth, the Nexus, just so happens to be Simon's brother. He's the
So
one who's
another
spoke
brother.
you
So
off,
there's 3 brothers instead
No,
of
there's
just 2.
2. There's 2. Why? Do you have a different name somewhere?
Let me double check. That's the wrong D&D game.
Because it
That's
should be.
Stella's game.
Because it should be Parth, the Nexus, Belmont, and Simon and Simone were technically brothers.
There it is. Parth Belmont, yeah.
Okay.
Maker of the spell book and
Yep.
brother of the Malvebus. Got it.
Yep.
And I actually even have the Nexus on there, held all three bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the last lord, from what I understand.
Yep.
No, I'm just mostly curious over Parth and Simone. They're just they're the closest descendants that I have directly. Like Parth was the last magic user in my family to be born. So yeah, he's the one that I relate with the most.
Hmm. I don't think you quite know the full story then of the
No, I
Belmonts.
don't. Do I want to show him the? I don't know if I want to show him the diary or not. 'Cause I've been reading that thing every now and then, so I assume I've gotten through at least some of it.
Yeah. Part of the problem with the Belmonts is you guys tend to have one or two members here and there that make a lot of offspring that don't get taken into the main family.
Yeah,
Bunch of
that happens.
what do you mortals call them? Bastard children?
Yeah, familiar with that.
Though it's seen as technically bad, it's beneficial.
Asenoth looks sheepishly over at Stella for a second.
Victor notices this sheepish grin.
No, not grin. One of those
That
sheepish,
sheepish
please
look.
don't kill me looks.
But there may have been some other Belmonts in here recently. Or at least I can tell they're Belmonts, they don't go by the Belmont name.
Interesting.
We'll talk about it later.
Might have he tries not to choke after she says that. Might have to introduce me to them at some point and see if they know that they're actually a part of the family.
By chance, you wouldn't happen to have anything on a Belmont family, would you? Or not on the Arkenbright family, would you?
Argenbrights. You see him start to move over to a different section, and he begins slowly climbing up the shelf and across one of them. Planner deities, planner spirits, planner dealings. Here we are. And he kind of slowly attaches web to it and lowers the book down from this top shelf towards you.
Yeah. Reach up and look it over.
As you look through it, you see kind of a set of like 9 or 10 different quote-unquote beings or patrons that allow mantling. One of them shows up with fire on a skull and seems to dress up like a clown most of the time. And he seems to be associated with the plane of chaos. Which tracks with what he told you.
Yeah.
Argenbright seem to actually be aligned with the plane of law. They seem to be about law and order. And as you continue to read, you find a very familiar drawing. It's a drawing of your gun.
Interesting. I would love to be peeking over shoulder, but that's up to Stella.
No.
Now,
I'll
the
let ya-
text from there says this is a direct copy of the text found of the dealings, and it is in a tongue that you do not know and cannot read.
Any identification of what that tongue is?
Depends on if she lets you guys see it.
Yeah. I'll let Calder say it.
Calder?
Yeah, two people who can possibly see the languages and either read it or at least have knowledge over what it is.
Calder, you cannot tell what this language is.
No idea. More familiar with monsters, and unfortunately, that's not one that's dawning on me.
No, Straven.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of look at it as well.
Roll with advantage and intelligence check on identifying
I
this.
just dropped my dice to the worst spot I
Just a second. Alright.
Oh! I found a mouse.
What?
I found a mouse.
15.
Like computer mouse, not...
Oh. And 15?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you identify this as an ancient form of Fomorian.
Alright.
It is from a very old rumored where was that echo coming from?
I don't know, but I'll mute.
No, it's not from you. Somebody
Oh.
else was echoing.
It's me. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Okay.
I know what's up.
Okay. But it's from a kingdom of the Fomorians that, as far as you can tell, was more of a rumor, or there's no actual physical evidence it's ever actually existed. What little evidence there is hints that it was wiped completely off the face of the planet by gods that were quite unhappy with one of the rulers. It's very much a argument between brothers and trying to protect their significant others. One that sided with the gods and was in love with a goddess, and one who was in love with a strange astral hag, but that's all you can fully remember.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell that to Stella and Azzy.
But
This dialect is old. Like,
Yeah.
old.
like over 2,000 years old.
Wow.
We need to write it down.
You guys can
suggest that like my gun is as old as this
As that civilization,
civilization?
if not older. Same with the deal with the Argenbright family. Hence it being passed down from generation to generation. But it seems that the picture of the gun is notated as its current form. So this weapon has had other forms.
I'm sorry, I had net issues.
First you're dropping
you're
dice,
fine.
then you're finding mice, and then you're
Wow.
Now the mouse, I don't know how the hell it got down there, but it's my work mouse, and I have not known where it's at for 2 months. And it was actually behind an area on the desk, and I had no idea. I dropped the microphone because I was trying to reach the dice, and it popped out and switched over to a random microphone that I don't know what to switch to.
Oops.
sheesh.
And yeah, no, it's been a little bit crazy over here. And then, of course, I got disconnected for some reason.
Sheesh.
So, my response, we need to write down every single bit of that sentence. An astral hag sounds like someone we might know. And I might mention that relatively quietly to the two. But I've been a little bit crazy, so...
You guys... You think you know an astral hag?
Possibly.
Yeah. So yeah, like, shit. I knew this gun was old, but
Yeah, that, Stella, that's definitely your gun.
yeah.
And that guns were invented not that long ago. How is that gun that prolific?
The worm
Said it
looks
before.
over the page and goes, "Oh, this is an updating catalog. It will show usually the current form of said artifact."
Oh, got it.
Oh,
Victor just kind of nods as the being in front of him talks. That's really cool.
Yes, some artifacts we require having such a thing because they shift with time.
this is a lot to take in. I took a lot with him when he died. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's considerable. That's so that what I heard was a dealing with an ancient Fomorian with a astral hag and the gun had something related to it.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, we don't have a lot under that.
Nope. Out of character, one of you might have a little bit of information on potential suspects, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is a throwback to a different campaign I had.
Yeah, Victor's gonna close the book he was reading in.
Yep.
Especially since it seems to just direct him to the summer court and a
Eh.
few different artifacts.
And a few tomes to look into, yeah.
Yeah, he's noted them down.
But the worm's going to look at you all and be like, Well, if you guys need anything else, you guys know where to find me. Well, hang on. If you guys need anything else, you know where to find me. I'll be trying to set everything up that I need to. Putting books away. I'll let you have that one a little bit longer. I think you're going to have to copy it. Don't damage the pages too much.
No, you have ways of copying things over. The librarian, too. So,
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Like, curiosity, do you have anything on the Coburn family?
I mean, I'd like to know more about the Belmonts if there's more here for them, but it's a huge amount of information.
All I can say is no, Calder.
We'll get back to that after a bio break.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
Yes. So we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick bio break. 10-15 minutes, stretch our legs, get water, take meds if need be. And we'll be right back. See you guys soon.